This is the history of the Ottoman Empire. Russia and Austria in particular began to take the fights to the Turks, seizing Ottoman-controlled lands along the northern shores of the Black Sea, the Caucasus, and in the Balkans. Meanwhile, in North Africa, the local governors began to exert growing levels of independence, and by the end of the 18th century, Algeria, Tunisia, Cyrenaica, and Egypt were practically sovereign in all but name. As poor as the situation was for the Turks in the 18th century, it was soon eclipsed by the events of the 19th, as the Ottoman Empire became known as the sick man of Europe. As early as 1804, an uprising occurred in Serbia, which immediately called the Ottomans' control over the Balkans into question. The steady fracturing of the empire continued in subsequent decades, with the Greek War of Independence breaking out in 1821. This led to the emergence of an independent Greek state by 1829, which was supported economically and militarily by Great Britain, France, and Russia, who were eager to see the Ottoman presence in the region decline for their own benefit. A year later, the nominal Ottoman hold on Algeria was ended entirely when France invaded and began establishing its own colony there. Throughout the 19th century, but more notably during the 1850s, Russia looked to expedite the decline of the Ottoman Empire further by advancing into their territories around the Black Sea. Unlike in previous instances, where the Western Christian powers sought to capitalize on such an opportunity and join the fighting against the Turks, Britain and France did not want the Ottoman Empire to collapse in its entirety. This was in part to preserve the balance of power in Europe, with no one nation controlling too much territory or exerting influence. They subsequently joined the conflict in defense of the Ottoman Empire, with the Crimean War being fought somewhat successfully to bring much-needed respite to the declining power of the Turks. Nevertheless, in the 1860s, 1870s, and 1880s, numerous new countries emerged out of the Ottoman provinces in the Balkans, as Romania and Serbia declared themselves independent and Bulgaria became increasingly autonomous. The Empire of Austria-Hungary and Russia once again continued in their relentless attacks at the expense of the Ottomans in the Balkans and the Caucasus. By the early 1910s, when Italy had seized Libya from their control and Albania had established itself as an independent nation, there were growing talks amongst the European powers of dissecting what remained of the Ottoman Empire and dividing it up between themselves. The seemingly never-ending period of decline led to growing concerns amongst the Ottoman Empire's younger generations, many of whom identified as Turkish nationalists and called for political reforms to mitigate the empire's downturn and hopefully rejuvenate its prospects after 200 years of stagnation.